Hello everyone, and welcome to another Dead by Daylight video. Dead by Daylight is changing forever. Like pretty much every single thing that you thought you knew about Dead by Daylight is gonna change. A whole lot of meta perks are gonna be nerfed, and a whole lot of base game mechanics are gonna be changed. So yeah, game's never gonna be the same. Whether you agree or disagree with the changes, we just gotta accept that the game is just not in a healthy state, and I think that most of these changes are warranted, and you want to be kept in the loop, right? But if you don't have an hour and a half to spend watching a Dead by Daylight update video from otzdarva, that's what I did, by the way. But like, if you don't have the time, then I'm here, okay? I'm here to give you a rapid fire like rundown of all the changes that I think are the most noticeable ones, so you can be kept in the loop. But if you want to know about every single change, I'm gonna leave otzdarva's video in the description, or you can just go look it up for yourself. All right, let's get to it.
Pretty good job.
Behavior thinks that generators are going by way too fast, and what they're doing to change that is that now generators take a flat 10 seconds longer to complete as a survivor. So usually generators would take 80 seconds to complete by yourself, now they take 90 seconds to complete. Also, when killers kick generators, the generator will lose 2.5% of its maximum progress instantly. So basically, killers have a mini pop.
Pretty good job.
Killers will now break pallets and breakable walls slightly faster, and every killer will have as a base kit mechanic 2 stacks of save the best for last, meaning hit animations will take less time to conclude.
Pretty good job.
A shorter version of BT is now base kit for every single survivor, meaning whenever you unhook a survivor, whether you have BT or not, they will gain the endurance status effect for 5 seconds. On top of that, the unhooked survivor will also gain a 7% haste effect whenever they get unhooked. However, this effect is lost when you perform any game progressing actions such as repairing generators, healing survivors, opening exit gates. I think you get the gist of it.
Pretty good job.
A whole plethora of meta perks have been nerfed. Like pretty much every single perk that you found annoying, whether you were playing killer or survivor, have been nerfed heavily. And I think this one is actually really exciting. I usually don't like changes. I'm like a very I don't know, not liking changes kind of person. But this really changes the whole game. Like it changes how the game is going to be played, because people are not going to run these perks anymore, or not as often anymore. And here are the highlights.
Pretty good job.
Ruin is having its effect straight up halved. So instead of it offering you 200% regression speed, it only offers you 100% now at the max rank. And also, on top of that, Ruin goes away whenever a survivor is sacrificed. So whenever a survivor is straight up killed, like out of the game, if the killer still has the totem up, the perk is going to go away. So the killer loses a perk whenever he sacrifices a survivor. Pop is a whole lot weaker now. It used to be that Pop gave you a 25% reduction flat, meaning that whether the generator had 10% or 100% progress, the kick would always remove 25% of its maximum progress. So like, it would kill the generator. It now only offers you a 20% reduction on current generator progress, meaning that if the generator has 10 seconds worth of progress, when you kick it, it's only going to lose 2 seconds of it. Corrupt Intervention will now completely deactivate whenever a survivor is downed. Tinker will only proc once per generator, and I really thought that this was a bug for the longest time, like Tinker procking multiple times on the same generator. Turns out it was a feature, but now it's not anymore. So yeah, Tinker is gone. Alright, so the NOED change is a bit complicated to explain. So if you're not fully paying attention to what I'm saying, then it's going to be a bit confusing for you, but bear with me, listen to me. Whenever you finish last gen, or whenever NOED procs, any survivor that's standing within a 4 meter range off the totem will be able to see its aura. So any survivor that's close to the NOED totem will be able to see its aura. However, after 30 seconds that NOED is active, that range increases to 24 meters, meaning that any survivor within a 24 meter range of the totem is going to be able to see it. Basically what this does is, if you're playing a game and you notice that the killer has NOED, you're not going to have to be looking for the totem. You can just run around the map and you're eventually going to see it. Kind of like how Pentimento works, or not Pentimento, the blind perk. Plaything. Pain Resonance is currently the jack of all trades, as they said in the update blog, because basically whenever you hook a survivor on a Scourge hook and you have that perk, the generator that has the most progress will explode, losing 15% of its maximum progress. The survivors that are working on the generator will stop working on it and scream, and on top of all of that, the killer will also know which generator exploded, because they're going to get a noise notification and point them to whatever generator exploded. With this update, pain resonance will no longer make the survivor scream. I'm not sure if you're gonna stop working on it or not, but like you're not gonna scream. And the killer will not know which generator exploded because he's not gonna get the noise notification anymore.
Pretty good job.
Alright, so tryhard is gone. This is very, very poorly explained. This felt rushed and it's weird. I hate this. Basically, they want to make tryhard like a parry and like Souls-like games. Or like if you time it right, you get rewarded for it. But like if you time it wrong, then you get punished for it. Or like you don't get anything. But the main problem here is that just like DBD is not hockey, DBD is also not a Souls-like. And the biggest problem in this game is the fact that latency plays such a huge part in this, in the whole like interaction between survivor and killer. You know, like sometimes the killer swings behind him and it still hits you. Sometimes the killer hits you from like 20 meters away and you still get injured. And in a game where a hit matters so much because you only take 2 of them, it's already frustrating enough. And current tryhard is already inconsistent enough that you just gotta use it for distance. You never use it as like a reaction thing. So if they wanna put a parry in Dead by Daylight, then they have to address the whole latency problems that this game has. I am never gonna run tryhard again. There is no reason for me to run tryhard if this is what they're doing to it. Basically what they're doing is that now instead of gaining distance whenever you use the E key, you're gonna get a 1-second endurance status effect. Basically what they want to do to it is like if you time it right, if you press E at the exact time the killer swings, then you're gonna get a hit for free and you're gonna get a speed boost. But as I explained before, this is gonna be like the most inconsistent mechanic in the game. And there's a lot of questions that have been raised because of the poor explanation that they gave to it. Like even otzdarva couldn't understand what they meant by the 1-second endurance boost. Like can you activate this perk and unhook a survivor from a hook for free? You know, can you vault windows with that? Can like you're not sure if you're gonna reach a pallet or not, so you activate the endurance status effect, and if you get hit, then whatever, and if you don't get hit, but yeah, you're just gonna drop the pallet. Like how does this work? Decisive strike is gone when the exit gates are powered. So in case you didn't understand, whenever you finish last gen, decisive strike deactivates completely. You're not gonna get a free escape anymore just by having decisive strike. And also the stun duration is now 3 seconds instead of 5. So if you ever DS a nurse, you might as well not DS the nurse because she's gonna kill you 2 seconds after. So yeah, BT is now base kit as I said earlier, but if you choose to use BT, then the effect is just gonna last longer. And this also applies to the haste effect. So if you use BT, the server is gonna be invincible and fast for a few more seconds than he would be normally. Iron Will was butchered. This perk is completely gone. It is useless. They killed the perk. You might as well never even unlock this perk anymore because it's completely useless. Listen to me. Iron Will now maxes out at 75% grunts of pain reduction, and it completely deactivates when you're exhausted. This perk is literally gonna go from one of the best perks in the game and one of my favorite perks in the game to literally useless, because having 1 to 99% grunts of pain reduction is completely useless if the killer can still hear you. The only useful part of this perk is having the 100% grunts of pain reduction. When are you ever gonna use fucking green Iron Will? You know it's useless. The killer can still hear you. It's just gonna be a little bit harder to hear you. It's useless. I don't know why they killed this perk, but I guess it was unhealthy for the game. They nerfed self-care for some reason, so there's that. And finally, the vault speed build is gone. It doesn't exist anymore, and this actually makes me sad because it was one of my favorite builds. I mean, it's everyone's favorite build. Spine Chill does not offer you the vault speed increase anymore, so yeah, it's just gonna be resilience. And those are the most notable changes, I think, in my opinion at least. Keep in mind that this is a massive patch, and I'm not even sure that all of the updates are gonna actually go through. If you want to read up on the patch, I'm gonna leave it in the description, along with otzdarva's video where he goes in depth into everything that I talked about and some more things. And that's it. I'll see you guys whenever I post a new video. Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit, I think.
Woof.